read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Richard Lozano claims he co-signed for his sister-in-law's car loan, but instead of making payments, she spent money on trips and clothes. Deanna Lozano says she fell behind after losing her job and the car was a lemon.
I see I've got Richard Lozano here as my plaintiff and Deanna Lozano as my defendant. Mr. Lozano, you are suing Ms. Lozano here for $10,571. You claim breach of contract. What brings you to court, sir?
Yes, well, yeah, what brings me to court, just to give you just a really quick context, I'm a retired building contractor. About a year ago, my wife and my 21-year-old son died in an auto accident.
Oh,
yeah.
So sorry.
And that's just to provide future context on the case. But basically, I am here to file suit against my sister-in-law for emotional damages that I incurred. That was a result of some unpaid automobile bills. So I am suing for those expenses that I had incurred in paying off her auto loan because, of course, she had defaulted on it, as well as the emotional stress that I incurred after the vehicle was repossessed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the sister of your deceased wife?
My brother, actually, who she's married to. Yeah.
Okay, so she's married to your brother.
That's correct.
Okay, understood. Let me speak to you, Ms. Lozano. So tell me about the vehicle. It was your vehicle, you were driving it, he co-signed. What was the situation?
Correct. So I purchased this car out of pure necessity to get to work and to get my 13-year-old son to school every day.
Okay.
I had a plan, I had a job, and I fully intended on making every payment in full and on time. But I did need my brother-in-law's help to be the co-signer.
So brother-in-law co-signed for the vehicle. Okay, do you have photos, receipts, anything for the court for evidence?
I do, yes.
Okay, please give your whole folder to my bailiff, ma'am. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Plaintiff, do you have any evidence as well?
I do.
Please go ahead and give your folder as well so we can see exactly what we are talking about. Thank you. Okay, so I am looking at a photo, ma'am, of this gray Honda Civic. I am seeing market valuation. How much did you pay for the car, ma'am?
I paid a down payment of $500.
Okay, so you paid down $500.
Correct.
It looks like, you know, the valuation right now is between $10,900 and $12,000, potentially trade-in closer to $10,000. So at what point was the vehicle repossessed, ma'am?
After 5 months.
So you paid 5 months, or what happened?
No, I paid the first month. I couldn't make the second 2 payments. And so that's when Richard stepped in and agreed to help me on those second 2 months. And then after that, he told me he could no longer help me.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
It was more of a situation where I was phoned by the auto company informing me, as Deanna was probably informed as well, about 2 missed payments, which I had agreed to pay. I paid them. I contacted her soon afterwards to let her know that I did it. But I also made sure to incorporate a caveat saying that I was not going to pay any further payments should they be missed moving forward.
Okay, so you paid $500 down. I see that in the evidence folder. You paid the first payment. How much was the payment, ma'am?
Correct, $320.
$320. You then paid 2 payments of $320, and then no more payments were made by you, ma'am?
Correct.
Why were you buying a car that you couldn't afford to pay for, ma'am?
Well, at the time of purchase, I had a job.
What happened?
So unfortunately and unexpectedly, I got laid off of my temp event planning job. But not only that, a month into driving the car, everything started falling apart. So first it was the air conditioning went out, and then the brakes, and then it was the tires and the rotors, and it was truly just one thing after another.
This is 1 month after having the car.
Correct, right after the warranty expired. So I had no idea this car was such a lemon. And it was Richard's idea for me to go to this dealership and to purchase this car. It was his suggestion.
Now, yes, it was my idea. She asks me a lot for advice. I should say that we were very close at some point in time. The grievance that I was experiencing was traumatic. It still is.
I'm sure.
She came over. She helped cook, clean for me. I had agreed reluctantly, might I add, to co-sign for that. But I saw her situation, and to be quite honest with you, it helped me deal with my loss.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
And you're seeing all these nice clothes come in for our nephew.
Oh, you're pocket watching. Okay, so you're counting this lady's pockets and counting her spending. Is that what you're telling me, sir?
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Richard Lozano, who was fighting with his sister-in-law, Diana Lozano, over a car loan.
Sir, let me ask you a question, though. It sounds like you're describing a lot of generosity, kindness, compassion from your sister-in-law. Did you feel you owed her at some point? Is that what we're talking about?
Perhaps, but I did feel good making these sorts of gestures. I felt that it was helping me with my own situation.
Okay,
so.
I want to get clear, though, on what part felt good. Was it just the co-signing, or was it the making the additional payments?
The co-signing.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
she has a frivolous, she has an exorbitant spending habit. And I know her about her event coordination. I know that it's a temp job.
Okay.
We know this. However, when you're sitting there, you're close to a family member, and you're seeing all these nice clothes come in for our nephew.
Oh, you're pocket watching. Okay, so you're counting this lady's pockets and counting her spending. Is that what you're telling me, sir?
Well, these events just came up, and I could not help but make assumptions because I was getting calls from the auto company. So I couldn't help but think, why weren't any of these payments being made, but yet these lavish trips, these clothes, they were being bought.
Yeah, that's the definition of pocket watching, because you're watching where you're anticipating the money should go, and you're seeing where the money is going. So what do you say about that, Ms. Lozano, that you were not responsible fiscally for the commitment you made to this car, and it sounds like he's alluding that you were kind of taking advantage of his generosity?
Well, he's making accusations.
Yeah, that's what I said. What do you say about them?
Right. He is saying that I went on lavish trips. I don't think going to the Grand Canyon with my family is a lavish trip. I was not on lavish trips. He follows me on social media, so he's assuming that I'm going on lavish trips. These are not lavish trips, first of all. Second of all, I buy clothes for my son and my husband, but that doesn't mean I'm overusing it or taking advantage of the money. None of this is, I'm not overspending. So
you didn't feel that making your car payment was more priority over vacation and, non-essential new clothes?
That's not true. No, these trips were already planned. One of them was a business trip for my husband where all expenses were paid. The other was a family road trip. They were already planned previously. And so he's just making these assumptions off social media.
Let me ask you this, sir. You're telling the court that she has a spending problem. That's what you told the court, right?
Yes, I am.
When did you determine that such spending problem existed? And I need to know specifically, was this prior to your decision to co-sign and be such a great guy and help your sister-in-law, or was this after you co-signed?
Honestly, I would say prior.
Thank you for your candor.
I knew this. I spoke to my brother. I advised him about it. He knew. He knew about the spending habits. I knew about the spending habits. Now, I'll admit, she was there for me, and I thank her for that. I'm grateful. It's helped me try to move on.
Yeah. Where are you in your grief right now, sir?
Well, it's been a year in the process, and I'm I have been seeing a grievance counselor.
Great. That's excellent.
Once a week, however, once the vehicle was in recovery, i.e. repossessed, the stress in my life worsened. I was getting calls, incessant calls from her, texts saying I was a bad person.
She was texting you that?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So I think we have some of those text messages.
I believe you do. Yes.
Yes. If we could see some of the text messages between these two. Hi, Deanna. I received the auto statement for your car. See that you did not make your last payments. I can help you out for those 2 payments and make it current. But moving forward, you're going to have to pay this loan on time each month. This affects my credit score, and I don't play with my credit. You said you understood, ma'am. And then you proceeded to make how many more payments? 0? Okay, that's what I thought. Deanna, I got the letter from the finance company. They're going to repo the car immediately. I was hoping you would keep your word and pay the loan each month, but you didn't. I suggest you park it at my buddy's garage. He has a tandem. It's less likely to be spotted there. Okay, so now you're trying to game the system, sir, so that it won't get repossessed. But it got repossessed anyway?
It got repossessed anyways.
At the parking garage that he suggested I park
But in fairness, ma'am, it was going to get repossessed anyways. Because let me tell you about these auto loan people. They're not playing. You failed to make payment. You failed to make payment. The car was going to be repossessed regardless as to where it was parked. So that's not in consideration. What I am going to consider, sir, is you've submitted to the court evidence of bills for your therapy.
That's correct. That's correct. And again,
I see $1,596 for 2-week sessions, multiple sessions.
Yep. And like I said, I had to increase my sessions from once a week to twice a week.
Because of this added anxiety.
Yes.
Okay.
The texts, the phone calls were coming in, saying I'm a bad person. I did what I could.
Well, you didn't submit those to the court, sir. So what did they say?
She was just saying that I was horrible, that I should have just given the car to her instead of allowing the auto company to take it.
Because he paid off the car in full, and then he let the dealership keep the car.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
So she told the court that she bought the car where she bought the car at your urging. Now I'm hearing that urging was because you had a friendship with the dealer, sir?
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Richard Lozano, who was fighting with his sister-in-law, Deanna Lozano, over a car loan.
What? So you eventually did pay off the balance?
I did.
And that's why you're asking for the $10,591?
That's correct.
Okay. And why would you pay off a balance of a repossessed car?
I had to preserve my good credit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want a bad name with my credit. I'm just trying to move on with my life. I figured that this would be the easiest way to move forward. Sure, she said that there was all sorts of things wrong with the car. I'll admit, I wanted to maintain my friendship with my friend at the dealership as well. I just figured...
So wait a minute. That's a new fact. So she told the court that she bought the car where she bought the car at your urging. Now I'm hearing that urging was because you had a friendship with the dealer, sir?
Well, that was secondary. It was really the primary reason was to preserve my good credit.
No. But what is the primary reason, sir, that you sent her to this? It's a million car dealers where y'all live. So why this particular dealership?
I had a good standing with them at some point in time. I knew that it was an affordable
Okay, well, if it was such a good relationship, sir, why were you not able to, on her behalf, inquire about the alleged bad conditions of the car and get it back to standing? If you had the benefit of a relationship with the dealer in question, she's saying that she got a lemon. Conveniently, after the warranty expires, she finds this out. Why were you not able to be helpful?
I was just at the point where I wanted to move on and just to get it over with. I just made the decision to pay it off.
Okay.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
And where is this relationship with your brother-in-law now, ma'am?
Well, unfortunately, we're here in court today. I never thought it would come to this, Your Honor.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Richard Lozano, who was fighting with his sister-in-law, Deanna Lozano, over a car loan.
So you paid it off It remains repossessed. How are you getting to work? Are you working now? Let's start with that, ma'am.
I am. I have another temp job.
Okay.
But no, I do not have another car. I've been using my husband's car, so I've been having to drive my husband to work and then my son to school and then myself, and it's a hassle. And
Okay. And where is this relationship with your brother-in-law now, ma'am?
Well, unfortunately, we're here in court today. I never thought it would come to this, Your Honor. I love Richard, and I care for him, and I sympathized with him during the grief period, and I still do, and I hate that it's come to this. But unfortunately, it has, and I'm just in disbelief that you paid off the car, and now we don't even have the car, and now here we are, and I'm out of a car and out of money. And
Yeah, and your credit's bad too, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, because you weren't able to pay. All right, so at least you're working temporarily again. I am curious, what is your financial situation, sir? Because in order for you to have, to me, a rather lackadaisical attitude, you knew she was a heavy spender, you co-signed on the car anyway, you made 2 payments, you ultimately paid the car off to protect your credit, I understand. But it sounds like you must be in a pretty nice financial situation.
Well, I am retired for a reason, so I'm okay. I do.
So you are
benefit from some of
financially
those.
well positioned, sir. It's okay to admit it.
I believe that I am.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And was this part of your willingness to co-sign for somebody who you told the court yourself you knew was a risky spender?
Everybody deserves second chances.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you two, I appreciate all the evidence. I do believe I'm ready to make a ruling in the case.
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
I don't know that I agree with you that you made the proper financial priorities in terms of the money that you did have. I don't see a world in which you know that you owe a car payment each and every month. You know that the nature of your job is temporary. You've told the court that since you came into the courtroom. Everything was temporary, including your current job. One would reasonably think that you would prioritize making the car payment before vacation and extra clothes. However, Mr. Lozano, you told the court the most important fact of this whole case, which is that you knew firsthand that this lady was a risky spender. She exorbitantly spent money that she didn't have, and she was not a good steward of her finances. And yet, with that information, sir, you chose voluntarily, because you wanted to be a good guy, and as you told the court, help your own process of feeling better, you wanted to be a hero. So you were a hero to a poor financial candidate. And for that, since you're so big on wanting to move on, the court is going to help you move on from this situation, sir. The court rules in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff took on a risk of harm to himself financially, and he has to absorb that risk. The plaintiff's case is dismissed. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I think this is fair and just, and I'm pleased with how this all turned out.
I do believe that I deserve compensation for the damages that I incurred emotionally as well as financially.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.